let's jump into this river fishing. All right, if anybody's ever fished the river, y'all know current's king. I mean, ain't no doubt about it. When that current's rolling, you about to catch something. And what that does, I mean, it just positions those fish. If you think about it, those fish are sitting there in that river, they're having to swim. When that current comes on, they've got to move, they've got to burn energy. So what does that cause? Makes them want to eat. And what makes it easier for us is how it positions the fish. I might be jumping around here, I don't know. But how it positions those fish is all related to that current. Everybody knows you want to fish those current seams, but what exactly that entails, and I might be jumping ahead here. All right, the know before you go, I'm sorry, I'll jump to that in a minute, but the know before you go, call the locksmith, find out when they're generating current. You know what I mean? They have the websites for Alabama Power, you can download that, but TVA, anything like that, find out when those generations are going, go ahead and plan your day around it because as soon as that current comes on, they're gonna be biting. So, like I said, positions the fish, and what that does, it just puts them in the locations you want them to go. They're gonna be hiding right behind that rock, behind that laydown, little current eddy, anything like that. It pinpoints it where you know where you're going. All right, activity level, like I said, they're gonna be eating. But the main rivers versus creeks, that's one thing I don't think a lot of people really think about when they're river fishing. So what happens on the main river? The water's flowing. All right. So those fish are obviously going to set up, position, things like that. Well, obviously in the creeks, they're not getting that same flow. So whenever it's not pulling current, that's when I'm headed to a creek. It's not affecting those fish as much. Whereas the main river, obviously, they're going to be really dependent on it. They cut that water off, and fish are just going to hang out, go up in the creeks. So many times, just like we had our Elite Series tournament, Lay Lake last year, they weren't pulling no water hardly. I mean, it was slick as glass. I had to catch everything in the creeks. And really, when I'm doing that, I look for the big creeks. If y'all fish Lay Lake, y'all know, like, down there, what's on the bottom? Paint and stuff like that. Those large creeks like that hold a population of fish that they're going to be there year round. They're not moving in and out. I mean, obviously there's going to be some fish, but it's going to hold residential fish that's going to be there year round. All right, let's roll to the next one. All right, so breaking down a river. Anybody up here, y'all ever fish a dam? Yeah, everybody lives over here for a dam, don't y'all? Uh, so the upper part of the river, obviously that's going to be up there, the dams, the tail races, and that's going to be your most current. It's more narrow up the rivers, so that's obviously what's making the more current. A lot of times it's a lot shallower, shallow rocks, stuff like that. And then it's also dirtier water. And this also translates to rivers all across the country. Obviously when you get up north to the St. Lawrence River, stuff like that, completely different animal. But the Warrior River, Coosa Rivers, things like that, that northern end is always going to be the narrower, shallower, dirtier water, and more current. So if I turn that current on, you better be up there somewhere near that dam. I can promise you that. Up the river, you might have just more of the rocks, not as much grass, not as many pockets. Mid-lake, it's got everything. It's got the pockets, it's got the spawning grounds, it's got the ledges, it's got, I mean, everything you want is in that midsection. And if you're starting breaking down any river, that's where I'm going. I'm going to start in that middle section because I can find something that I want to fish. I mean, whether it's the grass or whatever, that midsection, just a really good starting point. And then you can break it down and actually go to what you want to do after that. And what I mean by that is, if you start getting bit on laydown, something like that, that can tell you, whether you want to go up the river, if they're more current oriented, things like that. That's when I'll go up the river, or heck, just find some more around that area. But midsection is definitely where I like to start.